My tattoo start bleeding again, Garrett. My tattoo heard that music and thought we were like back in Iron City, Michigan. Yeah, getting a tattoo. Let's go to Andre Sinou. Andre, of course, is a part of this armed combat league that's sweeping the world and captain of Team USA in the Battle of the Nations, this historical medieval battles. Andre, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show.
Thank you, Jack.
Wow. I expect you to have some kind of accent with that name, Andre Sinou.
No, I'm all American.
Now, when you were a kid and you were Andre, did you have to fight your way out of a lot of situations?
No, because I was always a big guy. They always called me Andre the Giant.
How big are you, Andre?
I'm not huge, especially compared to some of the other guys on the team. I'm about 6'2", 240.
Wow. Now, I saw a picture of somebody, full page. Was that of you? I don't know. Was it? It was a full, the helmet, and what do you call the chain looking thing that you wear over your chest under the helmet, under the medieval helmet?
I call it an aventail.
An aventail. And that would stop a sword or something or from cutting into your heart, right?
Yeah, it's really meant to protect that area between the helmet and your neck and shoulders.
So how do you get in and decide you're gonna? I mean, do you have a sword? Do you have a battle axe? What is the thing with the spikes on it? The ball with the spikes? What is that?
It's a mace, and that's what I use. It's not there's a couple different types, but there's a flail that has a chain on it. We don't use flails. Mine's just on a piece of wood, but that's what I use. I use a mace.
So you come at somebody who's dressed up. Now, there's no jousting in this. This is armed hand-to-hand combat in like an arena. That's correct.
Yes.
You're going to run at some guy, 6'2", 240, with a mace kind of a thing, swinging this mace at him, and he has to deflect this thing coming at him, and it's made of metal, steel, whatever it is. I mean, what's the thing made of?
It's made out of steel. It is made out of steel. These are real weapons that we use. They're blunted, so there's no piercing from sharp points.
You know what? That's good. You know what? That's good news. That's really good news. It's blunted. So you mean if my friend Garrett over here was coming at me with a blunted mace and he hits me, it would feel okay to me. It would feel, wow, that's blunted. What does it weigh? What does the little mace thing weigh, you think?
The mace that I carry is 2.2 pounds.
So 2.2 pounds with, let's say you don't get all 240 into it. Let's say you only get 160 pounds of your motion into it. So you've got 2.2 pounds times 160, which is, let's just take the mass times speed, equals, right, the force. Right. So you're talking like 2,200 pounds of force coming at you there. And then where would you hit me with that thing? Where would I get it?
Well, most people would think instinctively the head is a good place to hit, but most people are pretty well armored in the head. So, a mace actually hits, when you hit you in the head, it's not really comfortable. But the places we really like to go for, because we're looking to get these guys to submit. It's not just for points. We want these guys to give up. So we'll hit guys in the back of the legs, calf, the back of the calf, the back of the thigh, the arm, the bicep. Those are really good places. The shoulder. Those are real good places to hit when you're getting hit with a mace or a pole weapon or something.
So you would sweep the legs, and this would cause the other armored combatant to have to jump up in the air, right?
Exactly. He's not going to want to stand there and get hit repeatedly in the back of the leg with a mace.
Now, when we see gladiator movies, that was a long, long time before medieval times. Well, medieval would be let's say 1000 A.D., correct? 1000 A.D.
1000 to 1500
A.D. But then when we're seeing the lions, and we're seeing the times of, the apostles and people being eaten and all that. You're looking at like 100 AD or something like that, or BC or whatever. But it almost looks like they used, do they use that chain thing that's it's almost like a blanket or something, or what is that thing that you throw over people, like a net? You have that thing? Is that available?
No, that's not what we do. We kind of stick more to the medieval side.
Okay. Now what weapon would I have? You're coming at me with the mace. Could I have the weapon with the big giant blade on it, and I have to hold it with two hands?
Like a pole hammer or a pole axe or something along those lines.
A pole axe. I would like a pole axe is what I would like.
Keep everyone at distance.
I would just be going, get away! Get away! You get away! Like that. Wow.
Well, the Russian team, one of our hardest competitors were the Russians, and the Russians had a lot of these pole axes, and they used them to pretty good use.
I saw a Russian once. He fought with a real Polak. Just had like a guy from Poland. Would hit people.
Pole axe. Oh,
I know, but I was using the term there. Andre, have you ever heard that joke before, where the Russian used a real Polak? Polak?
Yeah, I did. The Russians and the Poles really don't like each other so much, so I guess that could be possible.
Yeah. You know what? Anything I say here that you find interesting or humorous, you can use it, because I'll never say it again, okay?
Well, thank you.
Like when you're having a meeting. Now, for people that are listening, Andre Sinou has joined into something that's been being done, I guess, in Europe for a long time. Are you still looking for combatants? Because one of the things I saw when I was looking around for this was that you have the team together, but are you still looking for people that might be interested? Because the guys that listen to this show, I'm going to tell you right now, no one who listens to this show carries a gun because they're so mean that they just look mean, and just guys with hoodies stop whatever they're doing and decide not to rob them. And they're just big, giant, a lot of truck driver guys, a lot of hard work. We have people in gold mines. We have timber cutters. Even the women that listen to this show are kind of your size. They're your size. So could some of the people that listen to us, could they get involved in this somehow?
Absolutely. Here's the process, Jay. I'm the captain. Right now, the only person that's on the team is me for this year. We're looking.
So wait a minute. You have no other team members but you right now.
Yeah. Every year we build a team fresh every year.
Wait a minute now. Would you allow some signage on your equipment? Could you put Sirius XM J Thomas Show on the side of your helmet or something like that?
I can put it up when we have our national tournament. I can put that up. Sure.
That would be unbelievable to sponsor a medieval battle thing. I sponsored a prize fighter once. Was late to the bout, and when I got there, we should have put it on the bottom of his shoes. He had been knocked out. But yeah, this is great. Now, when you say you're the only member, where have you had your fights? Where have you learned how to do this?
Well, I've been fighting for almost 30 years. I'm a United States Marine Corps officer as well.
Come on.
So your tax-paying money has made sure that I'm in good physical condition.
But you've been medieval fighting for how long?
Almost 30 years. Yeah, since 1987.
So you were stationed in Germany or something, and you heard about it and you joined up?
No, I was stateside, and I heard that that there was a group of guys that were looking to put the team together. And I signed up for the very first year, and I commanded the team the very first year, and we formed the Armored Combat League, which myself and my two partners, Brad Shivey and Jay Brooks, and we formed the Armored Combat League, which is basically the NFL of what we do. We're the national team. And we actually got recognized by Congress as the national team, and recognized by the World Association. And
you're the National Armored Combat League team. Is that the name of the league? Is that it?
It's HMB, the Battle of the Nations, Team USA.
Mm-hmm. Right. But when you say you're the only fighter right now, you're the captain of the team. Are the rest of your team dead?
No.
Did they all get killed?
The last 2 years are going to come back and try out for spots, but I take the very best And there's a lot of pride especially being a Marine, and loving my nation as much as I do. There's a lot of pride in building this team, and I only want the best. There's no nepotism involved. We want the best guys that are not only killers, mean and strong and athletic, but also have great sportsmanship. I don't want to bring guys overseas and have people think Americans are all one way. We want to represent ourselves as gentlemen and also as athletes.
Can you carry your outfit in a carry-on luggage, or you have to check that? How does that work?
I definitely have to check it. Yeah, my armor weighs probably 60 pounds.
Now, are you at home right now, by any chance?
No, actually, I'm out at a medieval event out in western Pennsylvania right now.
Is there a helmet nearby that you could actually tap with something? I want to hear what the helmet is.
Sure, I've got weapons here, and I've got.
Yeah, just tap I want to hear this because it's theater of the mind radio. But I'm envisioning. What is that thing over the nose? The like a nose. The what's that?
The nasal.
That's what it's called. The nasal. Right. Then the two eyes pop out, and then there's one across the bottom of the chin, and your mouth is exposed, correct?
Well, we don't expose our faces for what we do because it's, we're hitting full force, full contact, and we don't want anybody to actually get killed.
I could take a blunted sword and strike you in the head, and that's legal in this.
Correct. As hard as you wanted to, yes. In fact, if you could knock me off my feet, that's what I'm looking for the team.
What about if I hit your arm, which even though it's blunted, and you're going to have some little, what's the chain over the arm called? The same thing as the neck? What is that called?
Well, this chainmail, but what most of the guys are wearing is plate armor because it protects better for what we're doing.
Wow. So you guys are dressed up like the armor in the Abbott and Costello movies that would chase Abbott and Costello around. Remember that movie? Those movies?
Probably similar to that, yeah.
You remember that, Garrett?
Yeah.
It'd be the armor there. You've seen it. Or the Three Stooges would get chased by that. All right, let me hear something. Bang something on your helmet, please.
All right. Hold on.
Here we go. God forbid.
Hear that?
I did hear that.
Yeah.
I heard one ring. What did you hit it with?
I hit it with a falchion, which is a pretty brutal-looking sword that has a forward point to it.
Now, have there been any deaths in this thing? And if not, what sort of injuries could we look forward to?
Well, in Eastern Europe where this started, it's kind of the wild, wild west. They don't have the same safety standards as we do here in the United States. Mm-hmm. And there was some deaths.
You mean they don't have the standard of swinging a blunted sword as hard as possible at a man's head that's covered in sort of a Coca-Cola can wrapped around his head? They don't have that safety standard?
Well, they didn't have the armor that we have and the weapons.
Hey, buddy, you don't know who you're talking to, do you? Yeah, I happen to be a member of the club.
There you go.
You ever drink that Arizona green tea with honey? That's what I got here.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Now, wait a minute. There have been people that died in East Germany. I mean, do you not have a referee of some sort?
We do. There are marshals on the list which are safety related, and they will stop something, but things can happen very quickly. And in the United States, we add safety measures to our equipment to kind of mitigate those issues. Our eye slots are smaller, so people can't have a thrust go through their eyes. You're not supposed to thrust at all, and I think early on they were using thrusting, and they had some problems where guys were wearing lighter armor and they had spears thrust through their chest. And another guy got paralyzed because he wasn't wearing the proper back protection.
So when you turn around, you get spun around, you could hit me in the back with that mace thing you carry. Correct. And it's likely that that's a spot I would aim for is your back if I had it. Now I'm 5'2", 190 pounds. Whatever height I say, and they start yelling and screaming. But let's say you're like almost a foot taller than me. Would you ever fight a guy my size?
Yeah, well, believe it or not, the Europeans have an advantage because they're all generally younger than the Americans. Most of those are fighting. They're in their 20s, and they're pretty young guys.
How old are you?
I'm I'm 47.
47.
I'm 47.
Wow.
And
so you'll fight a guy you'll have 20 years on the guy. He'll have 20 years on you.
20, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
Man,
we're physically larger. The people in the United States have a better nutrition standards than most Eastern European countries. Mm-hmm. So we are physically larger. The average height and weight of the Eastern Europeans is probably about 5'7", 170, 180 pounds.
Now, when I went to Amsterdam, that is the tallest nation in the world. And, I mean, the women, there wasn't a woman under 5'11", 6 feet tall. I'm not kidding you. It was ridiculous. I thought the Germans were also huge. I thought we were not bigger than Europeans. When you say Eastern Europe, you mean the countries that weren't fed by the Russians for all those years? Because have you ever been to Amsterdam or the Netherlands? People are huge. Either that or we were so stoned everyone looked like Avatar does. But I'm telling you, everyone was gigantic. And I thought the Germans were the same way. No?
Well, the Germans were, I would say, I consider myself for our team, for the United States team, I'm average size. I'm not a big guy.
Wow.
We've got guys on the team that are 6'7", 300 pounds.
Wow. So the team you put together as the coach or captain or whatever, you're putting together massive bodies that even speedier people, they may get more hits, but one swoop from one of your massive teammates will destroy one of these little skinny German guys.
Right, what I'm doing is I'm taking American football players and I'm putting them against European soccer players.
If somebody listening really wanted to join up, how would they even attempt? Or where would they go to find out?
USAKnights.org. That's our website. USA with Knights with a K.org. And they can look up my email on there or any of the team leadership email, and they can tell us if they're interested in getting involved with the team.
Now the uniform, you have to buy the uniform? I mean, what does that cost?
We have to buy everything. We're at this point, we are self-sponsored, Jay. We don't have sponsors.
Couple of grand to put on, I mean, that uniform, the helmet and all that?
The armor and everything, good armor, everything, you're probably looking at around $5,000 of an investment.
But you're not going to be able to practice here. Let's say I'm in California or New Orleans. I can't practice here. So I would say I want to do it. Then I would fly to where you are, and you guys would just start beating the hell out of me. And I mean, you'd put me in the ring there with someone. How do you practice?
This is the national team, so just about every state in the union has got it. So if you go to California, I'd get you hooked up with my California leadership. I've got commanders out in California that in all parts of California, and in every state, almost every state of the union, I've got people. So no matter where you live in the United States, the only people I don't have any contact with are Alaska and Hawaii, and we would take them as well. We're looking for the biggest, meanest guys that have good sportsmanship and want to represent the United States of America, wear the red, white, and blue on their chests, go to foreign soil and beat on people from other countries.
I can't believe ESPN. I mean, the other night I looked into a bar, and we're kind of in between sports right now. You know, football hasn't started, and there's some baseball going, all that. These guys in this bar were looking at girls' college softball. You know. And I looked in there, and I made a mental note. I went, wow, that's a bad night. If they had medieval combat on, I think it would be packed. I am stunned that Spike or ESPN 14 or whatever they've got.
Even the History Channel.
Hold it a minute. Garrett, that's even better.
Thank you.
Now, and I'm not joking, I don't very seldom do I find something that hasn't already made a deal. No television channel has wanted to make a deal with you guys?
I've got a gentleman that has asked to be a representative, a talent agent, basically. And
you don't need that. You need a producer. Forget talent agent. That's okay. That's okay. Usually the producer comes right to you. I'm not joking. They come right. They call you up on the phone, and the guy goes, "Hey, are you the guy from the medieval fight?" Yeah. Well, we're going to send a camera crew. It's that fast. Christina, right or wrong? Christina worked with me. We've done a bunch of pilots, right?
Right.
It's that fast. Mm-hmm. And these are legitimate companies, and you know, because it doesn't cost anything to video people anymore. It doesn't. And then the only production stuff is you give it to some little skinny guy with glasses, and he edits you guys beating the crap out of each other, and then you send it to people. I'm not kidding you. I can't believe this isn't on television.
To be honest, we've had production companies approach us, but we haven't had any TV. You know, they haven't been able to sell the idea to any TV shows.
Why not?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about that line of work.
Okay.
To be honest, Jack.
You know what? I'm going to get into this right after the show, and I can promise you something. We've only known each other for 21 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm going to screw you good when we make the deal. Okay. It's not going to come as a surprise. I can tell you that, Andre. Okay.
All right.
You're
going to say, you know what? He warned me.
You're Colonel Tom.
Colonel, just like Colonel Tom Parker did with Elvis. That's exactly right. Now, by the way, go to USAKnights with a K, .org, and these guys, and there's video of you guys fighting and stuff. I just am stunned there's one-on-one combat, there's 5-on-5, there's 21-on-21. I've only seen that on the adult channels in my hotel room, to be honest. 21-on-21. 21 guys line up. Are women in this also? Like that woman that's in Game of Thrones? There's a big giant woman, by the way. Have you seen her? Game of Thrones?
I have. I watched that. That's a great show.
Oh, it is unbelievable.
This year, we had a big outcry from a lot of women. You know, we've got a lot of strong, powerful women in the United States, and they said, hey, listen, we want to have a league of our own. You know, we want to be involved in this. So as of this year, we have opened the league to women. If they want to get involved, we're more than happy to have women compete as well and get involved. Since we've opened it up, we haven't had any women that have fully armored up and have gotten involved. But it is available, and even on the international level, there's a strong rumor that they're going to allow women to fight single combat, one-on-one. So we'd like to bring people from the United States. We'd like to bring some women from the United States to represent us as well.
I love the women's armor because it pokes out in the front. I love that. Now, you know what else? We have huge women listening to the show, Garrett. I mean, we got women that drive 18-wheelers. I've seen pictures of them. We've got some major league women. But are
they active?
Oh, they'll be active. Oh. Once they put the J. Thomas Sirius XM banner on the side of their helmet, you know. Now, Garrett, what was your question? And I'll ask about the scoring.
Are there any projectiles?
No, there's no projectiles involved right now. This is
wait a minute, like a crossbow? You think, Garrett? You just shoot a guy with a crossbow?
Water balloon catapult or something.
Water balloon catapult?
Yeah, just
stop it.
Why?
What do you want to do? Rust them to death? Is that what you want?
But it'll disorient you. It can knock you down. You're knocked down. You're out.
I can't move. I'm rusting. Only in the Three Stooges does the knight rust.
Now, what if you get someone that's very good at jujitsu and is good at, taking people down? Could that person just destroy everyone?
No, the guys that destroys everybody, we found out, are the guys that know football. Football players, American football players, and American wrestlers. I brought out football players this year, and the guys ran right over. And we didn't win, but our 5-on-5 team was second only to Russia. Not bad after only a year and a half of being.
Have you ever seen me throw the football, the David Letterman show at Christmas time? Could you use a guy that can, kind of a short guy that throws a football?
Well, you could try out for the team, Jay. No promises.
Yeah, I got you. All right, now look. So you get in the ring. You're 6'2", 240. Here comes the Russian team. It's 1-on-1, 5-on-5, 21-on-21. You all start. You pick somebody to fight, right? You stick with one person, or can you team up? Can you 2-on-1 somebody? Can you
4-on-1? You can 6-on-1 somebody. The idea. Wow. This is like MMA with weapons. So the idea is to get them to submit or take them down to the deck. So if you get them down on the ground, they're done. Or if they submit, you just start hitting them so hard that they put their hand up and they've submitted. I
have to tell you, this would be, Gary, I would attend these matches and I would watch them on television. I would watch them.
Well, maybe come out to our national tournament. It's in October in Springfield, Illinois.
There we go.
There you go. I might do that. I'm not kidding you. I really would like to see this.
I'll bring the water balloons.
Yeah, well, no, we're not doing that. Now, how does the scoring go? I mean, if you don't beat a guy into submission, is there some other way that you can? I mean, let's say you're beating him and he won't submit. Is there someone that says, okay, there's blood coming out of his eye hole. It's time to stop beating him. There must be, something,
Well, it's a pretty simple system, Jay. The idea is either get him to submit or put him down. So, the last man standing. So if you've got your whole team is still standing, or you got two guys left from your team standing, and there's none of them standing, you win.
Can you hit at the base of the skull?
You can. You're not supposed to hit any area that's not armored well. So you're trying not to hit an open area at the base of the skull. So we're trying to avoid that area.
Okay.
But the top of the head, the sides of the head, the face. Those are all legal. You're trying to stay away from the neck and the base of the skull.
How about the groin area? Can you hit the groin?
Yeah, you can hit somebody in the groin. You can kick them there. You can. It's pretty open there. It's not something that we do in the United States. It's something we kind of frown upon. So we're looking to keep going, and we want to make sure. Believe it or not, as hard as we fight, we'll help somebody up off the ground. We'll shake their hand and we'll go drink beers with them later on. It's not where the sportsmanship level is extremely high.
Have you lost teeth?
Say again, Jay?
Have you lost teeth, like been hit in the mouth and your teeth fly out?
No, because you're wearing a full face. I used to be losing teeth. Actually, there are guys on the team that have lost teeth. If their chin strap is not fixed properly.
Right.
I personally haven't lost any teeth. My grill's still in one piece.
Okay. And what about severed fingers or arm? Anybody sever an arm?
Severed fingers, that happened in Poland. Our first year, we went to Warsaw, Poland, and fought over there, and there was some severed fingers over there. Not on the American team, luckily, but was an American that actually cut off one of the guys from Denmark. And the Dane came over after the fight and presented the finger to the American in a nice little box.
Oh, come on.
No, serious. That's what happened.
Do you have video of the severed fingered ceremony?
I'll have to check on that. It's possible that something exists out there because there's a lot of video cameras going.
I'm going to give you something to do. You would take that, if you can, either that finger or a facsimile of it, and you somehow mummify it, and you make that the ultimate thing that you give back and forth, the severed finger, like the claret jug, those, the little fruity golfers over the weekend that, the wind is blowing. Oh my goodness, the grass is tall. We're going to win the claret jug. And they all danced around the fat guy that won,
Right.
How about you play for the severed digit? How about that?
Yeah, that'd be a great, this is definitely a manly sport. We went out to Warsaw and, it was May of last year, and it was supposed to be 55 degrees, and it was 105 degrees. So imagine wearing 60 pounds of armor fighting at 105-degree temperature. It was intense.
So now, when's the next time you're fighting? We'll have you either back on before or after you go. When is the next, big event, sanctioned United States against Europe or something like that?
The next international one will be next spring. The World Championship is in the spring. During the year, we'll have two national tournaments, and it's usually around late April, early May.
But you said you were fighting somewhere right now. You were somewhere right at an event somewhere?
Oh yeah. I'm out at an event, a medieval event out in western Pennsylvania right now.
Are you going to fight? You going to start swinging?
Oh yeah. I'll be out here fighting with these guys, and but if you want to see some of the ACL stuff, the Armored Combat League stuff, we would love to have you out at our national tournament. And even if you wanted to run a show, your radio show from there, we would welcome you.
I'd only do that if somebody would come and just slice Garrett, the guy that was talking's head completely off.
Okay, I couldn't confirm that over the radio, but we can talk about that later.
I'd like to hit him right in the... Garrett, would you put on armor and fight me?
Oh, God, destroy you.
Yeah, I bet you would, because you're tall. You're tall.
Feisty and scrappy.
I don't know that we have armor big enough to spread over the rear end there. I'm sorry.
For that, you're going to get your...
Sorry you had to hear that. Just make a little joke. You know, her last name's Palumbo. You know what that means, Andre. Andre Sinou, go to USAKnights.org and watch this, you know, this medieval battle, the Armored Combat League. I think it's a great idea. And I will call somebody and find out why they think the show didn't happen, and you'll talk to them, right?
That would be great, Jay. And if there's, you know, we are looking for sponsorships. You know, it would help out the team immensely if somebody is interested. And
yeah,
we will fly their banner at the national tournament, and be happy to fly yours as well.
What is your rank, by the way, in the Marine Corps?
I'm a Chief Warrant Officer 4.
And you've been in for 20 years, you say?
28 years, actually, Jay.
Now, in the middle of this, have you gone over and have you fought in Iraq and Afghanistan and everything?
I've been to Iraq twice. I haven't been to Afghanistan yet.
Is this something? I mean, when the guys come back and they're having all this post-traumatic stress and everything else. Is this something that that you'd invite veterans to do to get, you know, I don't know what, get the, you know, they're still kind of battle ready and they don't know where their place is in the civilian world and stuff. Do you have a lot of veterans that are fighting for you?
We've got a lot of veterans. As a matter of fact, most of my team are veterans, either active military or former military, and I've got all the services represented, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. And it's a great place if you want to be around men who've got a high sense of honor and you want to have that camaraderie and that brotherhood. It's a great place for a veteran to be.
Remember that wrestler, the Iron Sheik? Remember him?
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. Where was he from? Was he from Iran, Garrett?
Yeah.
We ought to bring him out of mothballs, put him in one of these outfits, and let the U.S. team just pummel him.
I know he's been on Howard a couple of times.
Yeah, that would be my plan. Look, I am so glad that Christina found you, and we will keep up with you. And, you know, tell us anytime you're having a tournament or something, we'll talk about it. Go to USAKnights.org. Or, and how do you say it again? ACL, Armed Combat League. You can see.
Armed Combat League.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Andre Sinou.
Outstanding day.
I will. Thanks a lot. That's for real men right there, Garrett.